I got to tell a joke. I've told this joke in here a million times. There was this Catholic walking down the street in New York, and he passed by this nun looking in this window of this restaurant. And he walked on by, and then he stopped, and he kind of thought to himself that he hadn't really been doing very good in church, hadn't been going much, hadn't been keeping up his pledges and anything. So he walked back and he said, "Sister, I see you looking in there. How would you like to go inside and have lunch with me? I'm sure you've never been in there." And she said, "Well, no, sir, I haven't, but I couldn't eat lunch with you. We don't carry any money." And he said, that's fine. It'd be my honor and privilege to pay for your lunch." And she said, "Well, my bus doesn't leave for a while. I guess it'd be all right." And they went inside, and the waiter brought these menus. She looked at the menus, and she said, "Excuse me, what's a Martineye?" He kind of grinned to himself, you know. And he said, "Well, it comes in a glass on a long stem, and it's a liquid with an olive in it, and it makes everything you eat taste better. It makes you hungrier and makes everything taste better." And she said, "Well, sir, if you don't mind, I think I'd like to have one." And he said, "That'll be fine. I think I'll have one too." And the waiter came over and he said, 2 Martineyes, please." And the waiter kind of looked at him, you know, like, "You filthy SOB." He walks back to the bartender and he said, "Joe, you're not going to believe this, but I just got an order for 2 Martineyes." Joe says, "Is that nun in here again?" You know, there was this guy that signed a contract to catch gorillas for a circus. So he sub-hired another fellow that knew how to catch gorillas. And he met him in front of this hotel over in Kenya. And he walked out the door, and there was this little guy standing there with big old thick glasses on. And behind him was a guy with a gun, and a guy with a net, and a guy with a great big German Shepherd dog. He said, "Are you the gorilla catcher?" And he says, "I'm the gorilla catcher." And he says, "Well, let's go catch a gorilla. I'm interested to see how you do it." He says, "Okay, just follow me." And they go out in the bush country, and they come to a little old baby gorilla up in a tree. So the guy turns around and says, "Is everything ready?" Everybody nods, and the dog. They go up under the tree, and the little guy with the glasses climbs up the tree and gets under the gorilla and shakes a branch, and the gorilla wakes up and falls off, and the dog runs up and just bites him right where it hurts. He just, and the gorilla freezes, you know, didn't want to move a muscle. And the other guy walks up with a net, puts it over him, ties a knot. And the guy that sub-hired these people was standing there looking. He said, "That's the nicest thing I ever saw. That's just simple as anything." And the other guy said, "Yeah, it's pretty easy." And he said, "One thing though, when do you use the guy with the gun?" He said, "Well, I'll show you before you get a chance." So they go a little further, and they come to a little bitty gorilla, another one. The guy climbs up the tree, shakes the tree, and the gorilla falls out, and the dog goes, "Chomp!" The guy walks up with the net, ties it over him. The guy says, "Boy, that's the coolest thing I ever saw. I've never seen anything that cool, but I would like to know when you use a gun." He said, "Well, we might have a chance to find out." They walked a little further, and they looked up in the tree, and there was this giant gorilla, great big gorilla. And the guy says, "Is everybody ready?" And everybody goes, nods, and the dog goes, "Bah." And he starts climbing up the tree. That's a pretty good dog. Hey, what do you want for after 3 beers? You know, Lassie, what the heck? He climbs up the tree. He shakes. The gorilla kind of looks down at him like that. He looks up the gorilla and shakes again, a little less strenuously. He's getting a little scared, and the gorilla looks down. He goes, shakes one last time, and the gorilla goes down and goes, hits him right in the forehead, knocks him way out in the air, and on the way down he's screaming, "Shoot the damn dog!" Hey, do you know what's wrinkled and goes slam, 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 slam? 4-door prune. I got another joke. Do you know why the elephant sat on the marshmallow? Keep from falling into the hot chocolate. Boy, they get worse as... And that's mine. You know what goes hippity-hop through the mud? The Easter pig. Now, we gotta tell that at least once.